Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid to get the girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot a back, a shoot a back, a shoot a back, a spit. Oh heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that y'all and southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back, a shoot her back, a bit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back, a shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back.
How. Welcome to the Wing It Call, October 28, 2016. Yep, we're still here. It's okay. We're going to persevere. Patience is our virtue. All right, take a knee, please. Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity that you have given me to bring information to the people. This is a calling that you have brought me to. Thank you for that. It's taught me patience, wisdom, grace, all the things, even, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline. For we all need that. And I asked that you give wisdom and guidance to the people listening, to hear and understand what we say, because you speak through us. And I try to do my best. And so I thank you. And in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Star 2 to raise your hands, please. Star 2 to raise your hand. Disclaimer, we're not attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors. Nothing on this call is to be taken as any form of legal advice. For the rest of the disclaimer, please go to thewingitcall.com. There's a disclaimer tab. Click on that, and you'll get the rest of the disclaimer. So, The wingman's running a little late today. He will be here. I want to say this. My apologies. It will never, ever, ever happen again. Nick will no longer grace this call or any of his compadres unless they want to, try to just come in underneath another phone number. But it doesn't take long to mute them out. But give me another chance. It'll be okay. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. That being said, let's see here. Awesome. Art, how would you like to take it away?
Where do you want me to take it, Jerry, as far as I can?
Absolutely. Right to the point to where we got to put our sunglasses on.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, Currency Land folks. Still waiting, like Jerry said. We're still here. But we won't be here for long, I don't think. I mean, there's nothing much new except waiting for 800 numbers. Like Bruce said last night, just Tier 3 was supposed to be getting finished up, and I guess it turns out there was a lot of boxes and bonds and F&Ps and I guess prosperity packages and some SKR still hadn't been paid. And when that was all finished, supposedly we're Tier 4, and then we'll get the notice. Yesterday, I know the notice came out that the head of the UN, I guess Ban Ki-moon, congratulated Iraq on revaluing our currency, and yet this morning everybody's, and last night, wondering, well, where's the link to it? We can't find nothing on it. It was said, but you know how that goes, so whether they did or not, we don't know. I just got an email. This is the breaking news. FBI is reopening investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server, Fox News. Huge. Just opened it up again. Maybe the lies or cover-ups are catching up with her. Well, maybe they are. So we'll see what happens on that score. We know we've heard they're probably going to try to shell the elections anyway, but they're running out of time on that. If they're going to do it, they need to do something pretty quick, I'd say. And for the life of me, I don't know why they wouldn't have done it quite some time ago instead of letting all this money be spent on something that may not happen. That just don't make a lick of sense to me. But then again, a lot of things about this whole mess don't make a lick of sense. So, but no, we're in a good spot, I think. We're just waiting for the 800s. I've heard nothing today at all, really. It's just very quiet today. And so with that, I'll say good afternoon to everybody and just hope those 800s come today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever, just so they get here. That's it, Jerry.
Thanks, Art. Well, we've all read that Zimbabwe is supposed to do their thing by the end of the month. China's supposed to be doing their thing. Maybe we just had to wait for 30 days because October 1st, when China hit the SDR basket, we thought for sure that they would announce that their asset back. Maybe they just waited 30 days until Zimbabwe. I don't know. Unless were there from the get-go to make the plans 50 or 100 years ago, nobody really knows. I've sent many requests, but unfortunately they just won't give me the information I'm requesting because I'd like to bring it to you. But maybe. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Let's see here. Star 2 to raise your hand. We'll just start asking questions because really nothing else. Everything's been said. We've listened to Bruce, Dizzy, Ray. So Ray's people have said, I haven't heard any announcements out of the UN. They've made announcements there before and then they bury it or just don't publish it. But some people were there I wasn't there. I haven't heard anything. Let me clarify that. If they made an announcement at the UN, they could have walked in at 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody could have registered it. There could have been one other person there, just twiddling their thumbs. But the announcement was made, it was recorded, and walked out. I mean, they've made announcements here in the news at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock on some off channel, and the blip lasted 5 or 10 seconds. Well, the announcement was made, hey, we put it on TV. Just because you weren't up at that time watching, sorry, but we made the announcement. It's things like that they can do. So we have to think about things like that. They don't follow the same game plans and rules and ideas that we have. They're politicians, politicians. Hopefully that will be coming to an end here pretty soon. Who knows? All righty then. Houston, can you hear me now? 281.
Yeah,
Houston.
Jerry, how you doing? Hope everything's going well. Actually, we're still going through our treadmill again. October 1st, China go back. Of course, we have the Paris Agreement. Now the latest is November 1st.
November 3rd? Is that what you said? I think you cut out.
The big date. It's a big date. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
you dropped off there. What was it about November 3rd?
No, November 1st is supposed to be the latest back wall, I believe. They said that's when it's going to happen.
Well,
anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is if it doesn't happen on the 1st, this is kind of a major event. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I really don't. I mean, this is such a major possibility of everybody saying it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen then, when it's going to happen? I mean, what other event has to occur for that to happen? That's what's bothering me, and probably a lot of other people. So I'm hoping and praying, of course, that it does happen on the 1st, and everybody will be happy, and we'll have our RV completed, and we'll do our deal. So, I don't know. What's your feelings on that, Jerry? As far as that's concerned, do you think that if it doesn't happen on the 1st, what's your take on the Den or ICO or the Wingman? What happens next?
Well, I'm going to look at it from a different viewpoint. 209 countries in the world. I'd say 205 are putting a lot of pressure. A lot of people are hurting. And the biggest, the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, are putting a lot of economic, financial pressure on the U.S. Trading partners, they're not talking about this, and no, I don't have any. If you'll mute yourself, please. I don't have any concrete evidence. It's just rumor, but when you have the U.S. Navy wanting to fuel at other places, and they say we're not taking USD, we're taking, silver or gold. Do I have any proof of that? No, it's just a rumor. But I've heard other people have went to China to do business besides the mattress guy that called in. We're not taking USD. Well, when you go, so he went to go somewhere else to exchange his money, and well, we're not taking USD. So he has to do something with it to change it out of USD into something else before it gets to China. Well, other countries are doing the same thing. Look what the Philippines president is doing. I mean, he is up on his soapbox at the podium there saying no more. I'm waiting for the announcement because he's been to China. So the next announcement I'm waiting from him a major announcement, is to tell the U.S. military, I'm canceling your contract. You've got 6 months or 90 days to remove all your military gear and get out. At that point, you'll probably see China move in. So there's a lot of pressure being put on the U.S. to get this done. And I've always said, when you're sitting up there and you've got all of your needs met and you don't have to worry about things, you're not worried about things. So that's my take on it, and I hope that. So I'm hoping for sooner than later. There's the answer to your question.
Okay.
this year.
Okay. Okay. And the thing is, are you saying the U.S. is holding it up? You think, or is that what you're saying?
Seems they still have their finger in the pie. And it could be,
You know,
I could be way off base, and it actually could be that China, who is driving this, could be holding it off and doing a lot of starting and stopping. Look at the markets. There's so much geopolitical that we don't know, that we have to figure out by watching that's going on behind the scenes.
well, that's a very good explanation. It really is. There's a lot of talk even before, Jerry, is that still a lot of the government didn't want to have Joe Sixpack become millionaires, or a lot of the minorities, which are poverty-stricken right now, will become, literally very wealthy or millionaires, and of course they won't be out poverty anymore, and they're not going to be, trying to put it diplomatically, they won't be maybe democratic anymore. There's a lot of things. If the U.S. is holding it up, I mean, they'll hold off indefinitely. I mean, especially if Hillary gets in. I mean,
no, you missed the first part there. There's a lot of financial, economic pressure being put on the U.S. So let's say November 1st comes and goes. All it takes is one country, whether it's China or Zimbabwe, and they say, oh, by the way, we're asset backed. Just one country. And then what's going to happen? Everybody's going to go, we want your currency. We want something back in it. We'll take your currency, but we won't take somebody else's. It'll be a cascading effect. Not everybody's going to have the switch flipped or the flip switched, and everybody's going to be asset backed. I think it's going to be the major players first, and then everybody else will slowly start to come into the same thing. But how long it takes, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. I got to tease you about one thing, Jerry, on your paper ballot. That's never going to happen. The thing is, you have to remember, as you know, Soros owns and actually programs all those voting machines. So, I mean, you don't think they're going to? Well, I'm teasing you, but and plus, it's going to have the FBI monitoring it, and that's going to be. How that's going to go. So I don't know. I think that's a good thought, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
Well, it's a thought anyway. That's to sit back and do nothing is to do nothing. And I'm doing what I can.
No, that's,
all right,
good.
sir.
I mean, go ahead. Okay, thank you very much. You take care. Goodbye.
All right. Rick, Toronto.
Jerry.
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
I just got on the call, so I missed your opening remarks, so feel free to interject if I am repeating what was already said. I can listen to the recording later, but I was a little ticked this morning with this whole nonsense about the UN Secretary General's comment that Iraq had revalued their currency. And when you go online, you can't find boo about that anywhere. I don't know if you've talked about that at all, but that was something that was brought up by.
Just address that with the caller at the very beginning there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll stop and not waste your time. But it just ticked me off that we keep going around this merry-go-round. And I just wish that some of these gurus would just stop with the nonsense. If it can't be proven, why even bring
it? And I'll stand up for him here. I hate to, but here's the thing: it could have happened. They could have stood up there at 2:00 in the morning with one other person in the room to record the conversation, and then not published it. But an announcement was made. It'll be an announcement in the private back channels, but not the public. I mean, they could do something like that. So there we go.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Star 2 to raise your hand. Short call today if we don't. Ledoux. 314. Ledoux.
Is that me?
That's you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. My first time on your call, Jerry, and I was just listening to you regarding the announcement and your explanation, which I guess it makes sense. But I had a thought, and I was thinking, okay, if they made the announcement in the back room or whatever, what would we be? I guess I'm trying to say, what is it that we think that they might possibly be waiting for to come out with the announcement, if that, in fact, is what we're waiting for? Or is that their way of putting out the announcement? Because I know I heard about a year ago, and I haven't been in this process long. I think I've only been in the currency for about 2 years this month, as a matter of fact. But I remember one time, I believe it was Tony that said that there may be an open announcement or there may not be. We may get 800 numbers or we may not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we know with all certainty?
We don't.
That's what we're waiting for. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. Well, maybe it will be quiet, you know, because I know that they don't want to.
I'm going to say they're probably going to want to do it quiet until there's an actual public announcement and try to get all of us watchers in first. That's just, I'm hoping that way. So
that's kind of what I was feeling. Exactly what I was feeling. It would be kind of quiet until the majority of the currency holders have gotten through, especially those people, I guess you call it the internet group or what have you, have gotten through, and then the remaining public can be made aware. But I mean, it just makes sense to me. But
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
That was my question. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to call him Sauce Dude because it's awesome. Sauce Dude, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, I'm making sauce today. I'll ship it tomorrow. Well, I should have put my hand down. My question was, how in the heck can we confirm this UN announcement? I would think that everything said at the UN is recorded. But I didn't know if, it sounds like, you said that if they recorded it, they could take it down the next day and still claim that, but I don't see that. But anyway, I should have put my hand down because my question.
Okay, thanks.
All right, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye. Jacksonville, 904, come on down.
Good evening, Jerry.
Hey.
All they got to do is just listen. You told them from the beginning what's going on. I saw yesterday, 4:30 in the morning, Clarence Thomas announced the New Republic. He didn't just come out and just say the New Republic. What he did say, his words was, the government is broken, and I don't think even the Tsar can fix it. That was an announcement right there, and it didn't show no more for the rest of the day. This 4:30 in the morning. You said it, and you hit it on the head. They do it. When everybody they think is sleeping, then they show the information. And they don't have to. They won't put it back on the internet or anything. But it was on Fox yesterday morning at 4:30, and that's the only time it showed. I looked at the news. I looked for it all day yesterday. It never come back. But you hit on the head. All they got to do is just listen to what you tell them. You telling them the truth, Jerry. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And I got to say this. It applies to all of them. How do you tell when a politician is lying? It's because their lips are moving. Now, see, that wasn't biased to one side or the other. I think I did pretty good there. Me, I'm not controversial. Mandeville, Louisiana, 985. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry.
Howdy.
I listened to the Bruce call last night, and they said that the statement that was made in the UN was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right in the middle of the day. Then they even came out and said that they knew what the rates were in Iraq, and all of the people had their money, and they were all liquid and all of that. How can it be so far on one side, and then nobody else knows anything about it on the other?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. No, I'm multitasking here.
I got you. I mean, I remember when Tony was still on his call over a year ago saying that they had made the cards available to the general public and that they had put their money on it, and that internationally those cards were being used with the new rates on them. So you hear all these things, and then, you know, you go, how is that possible? I mean, let's use some common sense here.
Well, the cards actually are international. I know 3 or 4 people that can use their cards. They can go to the ATM. Yeah, it has a rate on it.
A rate
of $3. I know that much.
It's what?
But the rate on the card is over $3.
See, well, that's what kind of confuses me. I don't know enough about this, I imagine, because how can somebody be using a card that's basically represented by Iraqi money, and the rate is over $3, and they're using it out in the world, but the rate is not changed anywhere else out in the world and internationally? How can that? It doesn't add up to me. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, I know this is a broad answer, but if you think about it, it's going to apply. It's called the golden rule. He with the gold makes the rules. And we have none, so we can't make any rules, and this is finance. Here's another thing. People with money don't blow themselves up. Now, there's fighting going on, but people with money don't blow themselves up. And that has slowed down considerably if you'll think about it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just getting disheartened with all of the stuff coming out that pulls you so high, and then all of a sudden it just drops out from under you. You can't depend on anybody.
You know, stand strong, be steady. Not for yourself, maybe for your dinar buddy, because maybe they're looking for you for confidence. I know it's going to happen. Trust me. I'm like Tony now. If I was to update you on Twitter every time something changed, you'd be calling the nut house. Come take me away. Come take me away. Ha ha. They'd come take you away. All right. So it's coming. Listen, I said on a call during my life story that this was revealed to me. The question was that I asked God when he was laying out my life before me up to year 2000. I said, Lord, if you want me to, I'm 5, 6 or 7 years old. I said, if you want me to do all this, I need financial freedom. And the next thing that came over me was not to worry. You'll be taken care of. Well, all through my life, I've always waited. Now, and I was given an age, and I'm right at that age when all this is going to take place. Did I get a defining moment? No. but we're close. So if you're wavering a little bit, stand with me. It's going to happen. Lean on me, and I'm giving you confidence that it's going to happen. And personally, I'm hoping for this year.
Well, thank you, Jerry.
So, there you go. Thank you for listening. All right. Anything else? Nope, I guess that's it. All right. Port St. Lucie, 772. Come on down. Port St. Lucie, 772. Oh, we're not going down that road. Just put that hand down. Beaverton, 503.
Well, good afternoon, Jerry.
Redneck Radio?
Yeah, yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. I love your comment. Instead of doing nothing, I'm doing what I can do. That's a great way to fly, man. Anyway, what I was wanting to check, there's so many things my question is regarding the Zimbabwe. People say, it's a bond instead of currency. Is that because they're designated as bond notes? You know?
I believe so, because we've all heard the things. It's printed on bond paper instead of regular paper. There's a lot of things we can't prove, but if we bought it, I'm not going to get rid of it. If anybody wants to get rid of their Zim, I'm available. Just send me an email to thewingitcall.com, and I will gladly give you my P.O. box.
And you recycle it for them, right?
Absolutely.
No, and the other thing is, everybody, you hear people that you read and they say, well, it's a 3-digit number, it's a 5-digit number, 2-digit number on the redemption values. And then, I read a thing where somebody's saying it's up to like $10,000. And I thought,
okay, so I don't talk dates or rates, but since you brought that up, let's just take $100 million times 10,000.
Right.
That's going to be $1 trillion.
Right.
For each 100 T notes. So, let me put it this way. I've got my fingers crossed, and I walk in, they say, well, yes, sir, the international rate is, $10,000. I'll take it. If they don't, I'm not going to cry.
Right.
I picked
one gifted me some, that I bought some more, and at the time it was we were talking maybe 3 cents, 8 cents, 10 or 11 cents, and then it got to be $1.20,
right.
And then they said no, it's going to be 100, and then somebody said, oh, it's going for $1,300, and then now there's some stuff they're talking about $10,000, and I figured even if it was $1,000, you're up in the quintillions, and it's like if you have more than one note, what do you where could you spend? How many people could you help? I mean, you could give everybody $10 million around the world, and you still wouldn't run out of it.
Well, and so that brings up a couple of things. So in the end, after you have exchange and you've got, and I'm just throwing a figure out here, say you've got $50 billion. Now, all of a sudden, if you go back and look at the billionaire list of how many billionaires they are and what their total is, that puts you in the top 1%. So I've heard, I don't know for a fact, none of this is fact, is that you got $50 billion. And this is at, say, an international or market rate. You're not, I repeat, you are not going to have access to all of it all at once. They're going to say, you know what? And this is if the Zim, you're using the Zim. You're not on a structured payout. They're going to say, look, we're trying to meter it out, because as I've said before, if you've got 100 people that are multi-billionaires putting money in the market, it's like watering your yard. What works best, a fire hose or garden hose? Same principle applies to financial money coming out there. So I'm thinking, and I've heard that they're going to say, all right, we'll give you 2 to 8 to 10% a year. The rest of it you're going to get interest on. Oh my God, you could be like a drunken sailor, spending money millions of dollars a day. You can't keep up with the interest coming in, just the interest. So just I budgeted mine. I said, you know what? I bought mine according to 50 cents. That was my budget. And I said, if it comes in at 50 cents and I've got this, then I'm good. Anything over that, I'm liable to have somebody following around with a package of Depends, because I'm going to be pooping my pants every time I walk and stop and think about it. So
either that or a front loader to go behind you to scoop it all up.
Yeah, I'll be looking like an elephant, like what is it? Larry the Cable Guy says, Grandma got the walking parts.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. No, and I mean,
right.
It's the numbers. When I look at it, I'm like you. I was 19 when I just kind of, was doing my night prayer, and all of a sudden just there was some stuff that came through, and it's like, I want you to help, families that are hurting, and I want you to help youth, and I want you to help seniors that a lot of people don't care about. And I'm thinking more about football and girls and getting good grades. And
yeah, nope. Mm-mm.
And all of a sudden, it kind of sat there, and so there's been little opportunities in my life that I've had some funds that I could help other people, but not to the degree that I thought, based on it. And it's been resonating for a long time. I'm like you, well, why is this taking this long, God? And I know He's got the perfect time and the right time and the best time. But anyway, it's a similar scenario to you, and that's why I got a big smile on my face when you were talking about that. It's like, well, God, you kind of given me this, this mission, this, purpose to fulfill, and be kind of God with skin on, if you will, just touch people's lives. And, I'm getting older myself, and I can't do as much as I used to do 20 or 30 years ago, So I enjoyed that. One thing I was going to say, the other guy was on a different issue, though, now. This whole, currency reset, a lot of people don't understand that, we're sitting holding our currency, and, hope deferred dries out the bones. And we all know that. But actually, one of the things, and it was being stated a lot about Zimbabwe, is that they needed to get their old bonds sold up before they could come out with their new cash. Well, there's actually a huge amount of activity going on with old historical bonds from multiple nations that are being exchanged, redeemed, whatever redemption is the word that they use. And, it's Chinese bonds, Japanese bonds, German bonds, Brazilian bonds, American bonds, Mexican bonds, and they're huge. I mean, they've got the old Treaty of Versailles boxes that are like $2 trillion was the value when those came out. And some of these bonds go back to the 1900, early 1900s, and they're actually in process in Europe and over in Hong Kong of actually redeeming some of these bonds. And they need to get all the old bonds cleared up and, if you will, paid off before they can roll out with the new stuff going on, possibly. But I do know that is going on, and I'd never really put the two together until a gentleman mentioned, well, what else could be holding this up? And I thought, well, that's a lot going on. I mean, there are hundreds of millions of bonds out there like that. So that redemption activity is happening right now. Not so much here in the U.S., but around the world. And I thought, well, and I know that they've been doing that for a while now, so maybe they're finally getting down to the bottom of the stack, that they have the old bonds that haven't been repaid, paid off now so they can move forward with the currency side. And that was just my comment.
Thank you very much.
And with that, you have a blessed weekend, and I do feel that, the destiny and the purpose that God instilled in you is coming to fruition here very soon. So be strong, be smart, be compassionate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, to be just a smidgen controversial, because I've never been controversial in my life, and I want to step out on the edge just a little bit and maybe toe the edge and look down on controversy. So we would all agree that this nation is in dire, dire trouble. We've lost our way, and here's the controversial part. In God we trust. This is what this nation was founded on. Our values were Christian in nature, and we've fallen away from that. Well, there's the first controversial part. Here's the second part. 9/11 was supposed to be a financial reset. Instead, the towers came down after the gold was moved. They never found any gold, and you never heard about it or talked about it. I believe that was a wake-up call from God for us to get our poop in a group. And it's taken to this point. And I want to say this. Democrat or Republican as a president since JFK, even maybe farther back, JFK was trying to bring the Federal Reserve to its knees and abolish it, and they killed him for it. There is no wavering about that. That was done on purpose. First executive action that LBJ did when he was sworn in was to rescind the silver certificates that JFK had signed to bring in the UST while he was still on the airplane. First executive action, kill that EO. So now we come forward. Here's the controversial part. If 9/11 was a wake-up call and God let that happen, because I believe He has removed His protection from us to wake our dumbasses up. Yes, I cussed, but I think it fits the word. Was I naive and stupid before this before this adventure that I'm in? Absolutely. Had my head in the sand. Why? Because that's how they wanted it. We're wage slaves to the system. We eat, we work, we sleep, we have no vacations or very little, and an average salary that was paid in 1980 is what it's basically paid now. Wage slaves. I better get off my soapbox. I'll lose myself here. But so now 9/11 happened, and God said, wake up. And then we've had all these presidents before 9/11 and after that have, and I'm talking about both Bushes, Clinton, and now we have Obama. I'm catching everybody in this. When they rebuilt the Freedom Tower, that was hubris on our part. Nothing but, and this is the same thing, if you read The Harbinger by Jonathan Cahn, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It set us up for a fall. Yes, I'm jumping around, but go back and listen to the replay. You'll see where I'm going, and I apologize for this. I'm not good about chronological order, but I think if you'll work with me, you'll understand. So now we're right here. we've got two choices. We've got Hillary Clinton and we have Donald Trump. There is wrong in both parties. When both their lips are moving, both are lying. But here is my belief. God has said, okay, and this is why I put out the thing about paper ballots. We need to get back to that. One vote, one person, and that's how Iraq did it. You got to vote, and you got to stick your finger in the purple inkwell that didn't come off for 2 weeks. You can only vote once. I believe that the two candidates we have to choose from, one, if elected, it's because he says, I've had enough, and continue on your path. If we elect the other, I'm giving you one last chance. So that is my belief between the two. So I guess now it's time to open up the call, take another caller, and see how far I have stepped into the cow patty. North Bend, 425. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. I couldn't be more pleased with what you just said. I also read The Harbinger, marvelous book, and I highly recommend it as well. I believe the words that you spoke are words that people on the left and on the right on this call need to hear. And too often we as Christians have crawled in a hole or up on our pillow and suck our thumb and we don't say anything, and truth doesn't come out. And so I think it's very obvious. Truth, when it's spoken, is very easy to absorb. When it's not spoken, there's always a rub and an irritation and something like that. I believe Donald Trump to be the Cyrus that God talks about, a hot-blooded man, someone who doesn't know God, but after serving him comes to know God. My own opinion is I think that we've seen a man do a metamorphosis over the last 18 months, and he's not the same man that he started out. So my prayer is that people will really listen to the things that are happening and have gone on about Hillary and listen to the things that she is not saying and listen to the things that, although not all of them will be accomplished, that Donald Trump is talking about, because he's fallen in love with the people, not just America. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Multitasking again. Sorry, my bad. Let's see here. Thank you for that. Okay, we'll try you again. Port St. Lucie, mute your phone. Come on down, 772, or get to a quiet spot.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jerry. I saw in the call notes the other day about the reduced time that we're now being told we can allot to the whole exchange process. 72 hours. And this is nationwide. And for those of us who've got people in 3 parts of the country, I mean, I don't have a corporate jet that I can jump into and fly out. At one point, there was a suggestion that you could make your appointment, but you would have an extension if you had circumstances involving travel. Do you hear anything about that now?
I have not. And we really, truly won't know if there's a time crunch until we make that call. We don't know the rules of the game.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Uh-huh.
Findlay, Ohio, 419. Come on down. Hello?
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to ask a question from a trip down memory lane. Remember a few years back when they kept saying you had to open a brand new account and do not put this new revalued money in an account with fiat money. And nobody has said boo about that in the last 12 months. Is that passé? Is it no longer that way? Can we at the bank or at the exchange center, can we deposit our new money in an old account with fiat money?
You know, I've
no.
got some. I have some accounts open. They have very little money in it to begin with. I'll just say, look, zero out my account so I can start my exchange. You know, I'll just tell them to move it all over to another account, which I have, that's not associated with it's with Wells Fargo. Tell them to move it all over there, and it'll be zeroed out and go on.
Well, now we have a business that we've operated for 40 years, and I'd like to put a chunk of that new money in that account to get things wound down and paid off and taken care of. At some point, am I going to be able to put that money in there?
Yes, but I want to say this. Don't put it in your name. Protect yourself. Put it in some form of vehicle, some type of trust.
Yeah.
To protect yourself.
And then can we take it from the trust and put it in to that existing LLC account from the old days, from our old life?
At that point, I suggest you get some financial CPA legal advice, okay? But I'm pretty sure you can. But the first thing I can highly suggest, protect your assets, no matter what they are.
Well, we already have our trust. And I want to tell you who I am. I'm the ICO Award for President lady.
You're the what?
I'm the ICO Award for President lady. Remember when I called in on the day that ICO said he was quitting? And I was so blue. And I said, ICO Award for President.
I agree.
Oh, well. I vote for ICO, actually. If he'd run, I'd vote for him right now.
Well, do a write-in. Put in ICO/Wingman. They'll go, who? All right.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you,
we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Houston, can you hear me now? 713.
Redneck Radio.
Hey,
Yeehaw.
I know this. I know this redneck. Come on.
Bring it on down. No, I want to agree with you with what you said, and the truth is, my heart of hearts, you know, I got in this 5 years ago in 1 month, and I was a total different person. My head was in the sand. I intuitively knew that things were happening around me, and I could see it slowly moving forward in the direction that I see today. And I know that from all this traveling on this path of bankers' wars, all wars are banker wars, from creatures from Jekyll Island to connecting into all these different websites and so many things I've learned, I can tell you that it's transformed me in the face of hanging in, believing and still believing. But the thing is, right now what you stated is this. We are brothers and sisters, no matter what color, creed, or race, or what country you come from. If you say you're an American, I pray with all my heart every American looks at our country and just think, just 10 years ago, would you be talking about men going in women's bathroom and women going in men's bathroom? The bottom line is we Americans have been separated and divided and angry at each other, and it's wrong. Racism is just repeating BS. Hollywood created all this. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray with my heart and soul that you really look and research on who is Hillary and who is Donald Trump. And for the first time, Michael Moore said it yesterday, Donald Trump is a Molotov cocktail being thrown into the government that the government has failed us. It breaks my heart that these people did this, but bottom line is we are responsible for our children, our grandchildren, and their future. And the way this country's going is going the wrong way, and let's make change. Let's go and become a great nation, but with all my heart, left and right, Democrat, Republican, just Americans. America, look at what you believed in and now you grew up in. And let's go forward and create this beautiful image that we have in our mind that myself, too, I was spoken.
Hold on. I understand.
So all I'm trying to say is let's all be grateful. It has been a nightmare run, but a nightmare of an enlightenment of now opening our eyes and pulling our head out of the sand. Let's take our country and make it a great, great country again. And I know we can do it, and we're going to do it.
Sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Lost Wages, 702. Come on down.
Hey, how you doing, Jerry? Dominic from Vegas.
Hey.
Hey, question. I think this is one that nobody's ever asked. What do you do when you go in? You go to the exchange and you get the contract rate and you do everything's humanitarian program. They give you everything laid out. You sign the NDA. And then down the road you realize, oh, man, this is way too much. I can't handle this. So what happens then? Do they take your money back? Do they?
No. Then you can be a philanthropist, but that's when you get legal counsel set up, people to administer what you have for you, but there are safeguards in place to make sure that it's not abused. Okay?
Okay. All right. That just summed it up in a heartbeat.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your help, Jerry.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Orlando, 407. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry.
Orlando.
Is that me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for taking my call, and thank you so much for being there for us. Jerry, please help me to understand. We don't need any more tricks. We need treats at this time. And I heard Bruce's call on yesterday. I absolutely love Bruce's call. But Yosef snuck in, and I want to know what is going on with him in his intel. He always comes in, he always have a story, and it's about to happen. Have faith. I mean, is he for real? Do we need to dismiss him or what?
You use your own discernment, okay?
Okay.
Only you can look within yourself and make that decision. I'm not going to influence you. I have my own opinion.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep my own opinion. I want you to make up your own mind, okay?
Okay, because I heard Iko on your call one time that he said he really likes Joseph. And I said, well, I mean, he seems that, I don't know where he gets his intel from, but, you know, I know that people are so tired of hearing it.
I don't think Wingman actually said that. He might have way back when, but I think he might have reassessed his assessment. But you need to make up your own mind and use your own discernment, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Utspa.
Hey. How are you, Jerry?
What's going on? Hey.
Where is Iko? Is he hiding under somebody's carpet tonight or what?
He's just indisposed for a little bit. I sent him a text.
Got a couple of points I just want to make. I know you got my emails. You're very vague when in your responses. You know that I wrote all those
Do you know how many
promos.
Do you know how many emails I get every day that I get tired of pecking away?
Well, I'll tell you what. I vote for you for Attorney General. How's that?
No, I'm no, because I wouldn't last a week before they took me out.
Oh, then Ambassador Puerto Rico. Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. You know that last call, the one about when he said that he gone to the exchange center and got too much money.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say, spend that money, son. Spend it. Spend it all.
Yeah.
Spend it all. Give it to the poor, man. You got too much money, give it away. That's what we're there for. Just give it.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to a good cause and be thankful that that God chose you to do it. Sometimes we do things that we don't even realize how we got in there. You know what I'm saying? And we realize it was God's will all the time. Because we're thinking that this is terrible, and really it's God's will, and for some of that terrible to become something. You know what I'm saying? To be made to take a terrible thing into a positive thing. The other thing I just wanted to say, the Lord teaches us to call those things that be not as though they were. And we as Christians, we're taught that we can speak these things into existence, binding and loosening. So if you know you're a child of God and you got all this Holy Ghost power, you can just speak it into existence. You speak blessing because our words have power. The Bible says we have our words have the power of life and death in the tongue. And it's true because you can call somebody an idiot all day long and then and wonder why that guy is an idiot because you've been cursing him all these years. You don't even realize it. Or you can speak blessing on someone and say, "But gee, my son is the smartest person in the world," and becomes a doctorate, in philosophy one day. So, I mean, there is a lot of truth to that. But I just want to say, everybody, just hang in there. It's coming. It really is, because I think we're all chosen. God says, I chose you before the foundation of the world. We're all chosen. Just some of us, aren't seeing the big picture yet. So, and I think we will eventually. And that's all I really have to say. And we love you, Jerry.
Well,
We still love you here we love you in Long Island. And tell Iko to find another place to hide because we're going to find him.
Okay, so just hang around for a minute. I've got some things to say here, and this will.
I'm listening.
It may come out wrong, but if you'll just listen, because I hope it doesn't come out wrong. God, give me a little guidance here. So when this money comes, when this blessing comes down, and we're able to help people, I know it's not in the Bible. I've asked, but it goes like this: give a man a fish, feed him for a day, or teach a man to fish and feed him for a lifetime. So there's a lot of people out here that need help. Not everybody is going to help themselves once we've helped them, and they don't want to change.
That's true too.
And I'm not talking about just the homeless people. Other people we're helping. Some people have their hands out there for a handout. And
yeah,
it's
well,
okay.
You could give a person who's never had any money, and they'll just go to hell with themselves because they don't know how to, they don't know how to budget themselves. They don't, they don't know what to do with the money. So if you're going to give to a worthy cause, to give to a, hospital, like for instance, Children's Hospital, what is it, the St. Jude's?
Sure.
You can do
hold on.
wonders. I mean, what I intend to do.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
So what I'm trying to say is, not everybody's going to be grateful. When I give, I do not expect people to, tears come out of their eyes. I'm there to help. And I don't want any gratitude. I'm just there to help. I'm going to go in, do what it is to help, let the people that actually know what they're doing. I'm going to be a philanthropist.
Well, you know what? We're tools of the Lord. We are tools of the Lord. He uses us. Okay. When you say this, when you pray, when we all pray, God, help us to be a blessing to somebody. He hears those prayers, and He he will react sometimes the way we don't expect him to react. Like helping someone see teaching somebody the gospel, or even being a financial help to a person. We don't know what the day's going to bring, but you know what? It's always going to be a good result, because God's good, and He's good to His people, and He's good to His creation, and He wants His creation to know about Christ is, so that we can all be saved, because He wants none to perish, and that's what He's going to use you and me and every other child of God to do. And that's part of the great I think they call it the Great Reformation. Maybe I got the wrong word there, but that's what his plan is. All right, I'm not going to keep you. God bless, and make those meatballs. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye. Austin, Texas. Last four of your phone number is 1650. Come on down.
Thank you, Jerry. It's a pleasure to be on the call. I just want to say that we've had some really good callers today, and they've gotten some good information from folks. And, I'm not going to necessarily ask a question, but I'm going to urge everybody to please get out and vote. We don't have the two best candidates that we can have for the presidency, but we sure know that one of them has been involved in a lot of scandal and has been involved in a lot of presidential consolidation conspiracy, okay? And that came out just recently in one of the posts that was made. So I just urge everybody, please go out and vote. If you feel that Donald Trump can do the job and he is God-driven, then he will perform and he will do what he needs to do to set things straight. But if we don't go out and vote and Hillary gets into the presidency, we're going to be doomed for 4 years of potential scandal, and God knows what else is going to happen. So I just wanted to call in and make that statement that everybody, please get out and vote. Vote with your heart, vote with your mind, and most importantly, listen to these calls, because these calls have a lot of people calling in who are making a lot of sense.
Thank you,
I
sir.
hope, I know you're in line with that thinking, Jerry, and I do appreciate what you do to spread the word and give us your opinion and to help us interpret the things that we need to interpret as well. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
Okay? Thank you.
I think I'm going to go to the other Austin, Texas here. Last four is 3858, just because it's you. Austin, Texas.
Hello, Jerry.
Oh, no. You go back to doing what you're doing. I know what
hold on
you're
a
doing.
minute. No, that's good, but I think I've heard a lot of good stuff out here, and I believe that everybody's hearts are in the right place. And I wouldn't be discussing either side, either or, my side. But we're getting down to integrity, and we're getting down to truthfulness. And if you pass a blind eye to a large part of it, you're setting yourself together with those that say, it doesn't make any difference. We were able to get a bunch of stuff done. We got it done by hook or crook, but we got the means, and we passed it. And that's really not the part that I ever want to be in. I guess being a lifelong Boy Scout, it just doesn't fit. You just keep up the good work, Jerry. I don't care if you're stepping on toes. Just get to work, brother. Later.
And he's only breathing hard for one reason. He's out there trying to act like a 20-year-old, running around in his damn shoes with his shirt off. Hopefully he's wearing a ball cap, because the last time he wasn't paying attention, he run head first into a sign and knocked his dumb self out. I laughed for a day about that. Last question, last caller for the day, Oklahoma City. Come on down, 405.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
This is KC. Hey, I was calling just to give a little light. You know, we've been going through this reevaluation process for quite some time. And just want to remind people that you have a government that is in a transition, and you have a party that's been in control for a long time. And so what do? You play one against the other. So you make your government look bad so that we're not the bad guys. You need to worry about your government versus worrying about your money. And so I just want everybody to take a look at that and just think about it. Because the people who are in control.
All righty, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for listening and calling in. Another great show. A lot of people missed it. Bless their hearts. Maybe they'll make the next one. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Wingman never showed, so I'll have to say it for him. Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.